So today we're inside my 240SX drift car. The drift build's going decent so far. I got the motor running and everything. I'm just waiting on a tune and some set of tires I got to order. But the next coming event is coming up pretty fast, so I got to get a lot done. So right now I've got basically all the bugs worked out in the car. Had a head gasket issue when I built the motor, except for the wrong head gasket on here. But other than that, it's gone pretty smoothly. Right now, I just got to work on making bump stops for my lower control arm. The kind of story behind that is I had a local guy that is pretty big in our scene build me some modded knuckles and lower control arms. He built them off his setup, which is good for him because his setup's really dialed in and everything, and that's what I thought I wanted. But I don't have the same side of wheels. I have a bigger sway bar. Everything just doesn't line up anymore, and we had a little issue about he welded the tie rod upside down for tie rod mounts, but he fixed all that. Great guy and everything, but now I have to take off the bump stops that he made and now have to make my own because I don't have enough angle for where his bump stops would line up perfectly. Now I could take the sway bar off and I could get a different set of wheels, but I have 2 weeks till the next drift event and I'm kind of trying to do it in a hurry. So I will show you what I'm working with right now, and I'll show you my kind of idea behind it, or just a finished project. I'm just kind of trying to hurry up with it, and I don't really want to, sacrifice quality just so I can hurry up and finish it. But like I said, I got 2 weeks, so I'm going to kind of take my time. I hope I get it done with this week. I'm not going to devote all my time towards the car, but I'm going to devote a lot of it. I kind of need to make the drift event. I've been in this scene for about 6 years and I've not made many events because I've been trying to put 4 or 5 different motors in this car, just kind of trying to figure out what I wanted in the car, and I'm pretty much set on this point. I've spent a lot of money, more than I should have, to try to get to this point where I can just make almost every event depending on financial for tires and stuff like that. But right now I'll show you what I'm working with. So here's what I'm working with. I'm sorry that it's dirty in the car. I haven't really cleaned it. Anyways, as you can see, the bump stop is it's like not close to where it needs to be. It's way too high, as you can see. So my plan is to cut this off completely, grind this down where he made the cutout. I don't know if I can get to it. Well, anyways, he made a cutout in the lower control arm on the other side and notched it in case if the tie rod ever went too far, it would kind of have more angle to go in there. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to cut this, I'm going to trim it down, and I'm going to try to weld it up on the back side, drill a hole, and make a bump stop out of that. Alright, just got done doing this one side. Now, I did weld it, and my welds are absolutely garbage, but I didn't want, with the ball joint being in there and it being a brand new ball joint, I was trying to save the ball joint. Now I'm going to go on the other side and I'm going to weld going straight down, but I'm taking very, very quick breaks. So I'll weld, I'll stop, and then I'll go back maybe 10 minutes later, weld, stop, pouring water, ice, anything to save that ball joint really. So I'm going to see how this works. I'm not entirely sure how well it's going to work because the bolt is longer than that. It goes in about an inch as well, but I feel like it could be at the same time a little too long and it might bend, but it is a 10.9 hardened bolt, so I'm hoping that helps. But it doesn't look like I have a lot of angle, but here's my issue. The reason why I had to make it so long is because my sway bar is just huge compared to my angled tension rod, so I had to get away from that issue. And now I'm going to do the other side, then I'm going to tack weld them up. So here's my finished bump stop. Came out pretty decent. I'm interested to test it and see how it is, but I'm glad this is an S13 tie rod because it's a little bit more beefier, so hopefully it won't come in full lock on these heavy Advans that I have. Hopefully it won't break the tie rod. I don't think it will, but it is welded on both sides, and now I'm going to go test it. And well, I need to dial it in first, and then I'm going to test it and see how well it is. So I dialed in the suspension. Everything turned out good. I didn't have much more angle than I had stock before, but I'm also limited by the size of my wheel and the sway bar. I don't know much about the front angle kit and how to best dial in your fitment and everything, so I'm going to work on that. I'm probably going to either refinish these Advans and because I kind of like them, or just move on to a better sizing wheel for the front, which is probably going to be the best option for me. I got to figure out the sway bar. I got to figure out all the issues that it's going to give me more angle. But for now, I'm pretty stoked that the car is running and driving. It just needs a tune, and then we're 100% ready. Other than that, everything works. It does slide great, like I said before. Full lock to full lock. It's a little heavy, but then again, I've never had angle before, so I don't know if that's good or bad. But then again, I'm not sliding going more than 20 miles per hour, and it's kind of hard to go full lock to full lock on some private roads. So we'll have to see on everything. I have a drift event coming up the 11th, so I'm gonna really try to get some footage from there. I'll hopefully be tandeming unless something crazy happens and I break the car before then, but I'm not beating on the car. I'm just trying to drive it to get it ready for the event, and hopefully I'll have some videos from then. And then until then, I'll see you guys later.